let's talk about mastering task response. This is truly the key to unlocking a much higher score in your IELTS writing. Welcome to the IELTS Focus. We're diving straight into task response today because honestly, this might just be the one thing that's been holding your writing score back. Yeah, that's right. I like to call this the hidden score killer. It's this sneaky little thing that keeps so many test takers stuck at the same band score no matter how hard they study.
So, does this sound familiar? You're practicing like crazy. You feel like your grammar is getting better, your vocabulary is expanding, but that writing score, it just will not move. Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret. The culprit is probably not what you think. 9 times out of 10, it's a problem with task response.
Okay, so what is task response anyway? Well, it's one of the 4 official ways you're graded, and get this, it's worth a whopping 25% of your Task 2 score. Basically, it just asks, did you fully and appropriately answer the question? Sounds simple enough, right? But oh, the devil is absolutely in the details here.
And that brings us to maybe the single most important skill for this part of the test. You can't just read the prompt. You have to decode it. Let's look at a real example so you see what I mean.
Okay, take a look at this. It's a pretty standard IELTS Task 2 prompt. Now, if you just glance at this, you might think, okay, I got this. But trust me, if you don't break this down piece by piece, you're already setting yourself up for a lower score. So here's what you need to do every single time. It's a simple 2-step process. Step 1, identify all the different parts of the main statement, what we call the premise. Step 2, identify all the questions they're actually asking you to answer.
So if we apply that to our example, wow, look at this. It's not 1 or 2 things they want. It's 4. You've got to talk about traffic problems, and you've got to talk about pollution problems. Then you have to say if you agree or disagree with the whole petrol price idea. And you have to suggest other measures. See? That's 4 different jobs you have to do in one essay.
And this leads us to a golden rule, straight from the IELTS examiners themselves. If a prompt has multiple parts, you have to address all of them. Not most of them, all of them. This is completely non-negotiable if you want a high score. But okay, let's say you spot all 4 parts. You're feeling good. Well, there's an even sneakier trap waiting for you. And believe it or not, it's hidden in a single letter. Look at this word right here. Measures. It doesn't say measure, singular. It says measures, plural. And that one tiny s at the end, it changes absolutely everything. So what's the big deal? Well, it's simple, but it's so important. If the question asks for a measure, singular, you just need one idea. But if it asks for measures, plural, you must give 2 or more. And here it is. This is the big reveal, and this comes directly from the official examiner training material. It says that if you only give 1 measure when the prompt asks for measures, your score for task response will be limited to a band 5. Why? Because you haven't completely answered the question. That's a huge deal. Okay, so now that we know about this trap, how do we use this knowledge to smash right through that band 5 ceiling? Well, it all comes down to understanding exactly how they score this. Let's pull up the official band descriptors. See here for band 7, it says you have to address all parts of the task. Now look down at band 5. It says it's for an answer that addresses the task only partially. And that's exactly what giving 1 measure is. It's a partial answer. The logic is crystal clear. So that band 5 becomes your ceiling. It's a hard stop. I don't care if you write with the most beautiful grammar in the world or use incredible vocabulary. If you miss that little S and only give 1 idea, you are stuck. You cannot get above a 5 for that part of your score. So here's the rule you need to burn into your brain. It's the examiner's logic in a nutshell. If you see a plural keyword, you must provide multiple ideas. That's it. End of story. And you know, it's not just the word measures. You need to train your eyes to hunt for these plural words. We're talking reasons, causes, effects, solutions, advantages. If you see that S, it's your signal to give at least 2 of whatever they're asking for. That right there is the secret to a complete answer. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. The next time you sit down to practice, are you just going to read the question or are you going to decode it? Because making that one little shift in how you see the prompt, well, that's the real key to unlocking the score you deserve.